Another Stamp with Amy K YouTube Live, and today I'm going to show you how I made what I think is a really cute fun fold card that it's a little Halloween card, obviously, and I made it with a Fright Night stamp set bundle, as well as, oops, sorry, wiggling things around here a little bit, as the Spooky Halloween stamp set. So these are some of the online exclusive goodies that are available to order right now from Stampin' Up. And yeah, just made a fun little card. The arches are from the Everyday Arches, and those are actually, in fact, restocked. So if you don't have this die set yet, go grab it now before it goes out of stock again. But it is an awesome one. And I made one of these not too long ago. This one's a little different style than the last one I made, but it's a little trifold card, and it folds out, and there's a little Halloween in it. So it's a fun card, and like I said, you know, I think it's cute for anybody, but if you have kids who are Halloween people, they will definitely love it. So again, just a little trifold card, and I'll show you how I put it together. It's like I said, the last one I did a solid piece of cardstock across here. This one I just basically made little hinges. So you can do it either way, and I actually found that it's pretty sturdy, made like this, and it's a lot easier. There's no like complex measurements and trying to figure out exactly how to lay it out on this one. It's pretty quick and easy. So I know I'm doing those fun fold things again. I can't even believe it. So hey, Sally and Karen and Carol and Pam. Hey, Carol. Danette, Marla, Mary, Kathy, Charlotte, everybody, thanks for hopping in. So, yes, in fact, Kathy, Stampin' Up! Does sell in Ireland, so you just need to find a representative from Ireland to purchase from. So, just go to stampinup.com and you should be able to find all the information there. So, oh, I'm glad you're happy you got here and are able to be on live, Charlotte. So, all right, so Fright Night is the name of the stamp set, or the bundle, I guess I should say. And again, it's just a cute one for Halloween. These, I think they're technically designed to make little tags, but they're just kind of fun. You can use them on cards or whatever you want to do with them. And then there are a couple sentiments on here, and then that sentiment as well, and a little splatter image. So, hey, Tanya, thanks for hopping in. So again, there are some die cuts here. So there's a smaller frame and a larger frame. And so you can cut out these images with the smaller frame, and then it'll put a little layer around it with the larger frame. So yikes, just pop this right off here. So the little banner die fits around the 3 sentiments, which is what I use today, banner die and sentiments. And then there are these cute little spider webs. There's spider, and then there's a boo and an eek. So it's a cute bundle. Love the dies, love the stamp set. So lots of fun to use. Let me set those aside, and I'll grab a couple other things that I used here. So Spooky Halloween, I did use just for the sentiment on the inside. I didn't use, this comes with a full bundle as well. And actually it's the whole suite, because there's the designer series paper, and the little gems that I used on here are part of the suite from the Spooky Halloween, or Spooky Suite. So that was a lot of sweets in it, but anyhow, so, and it's Halloween. I can't say for sure, because we don't technically see the Stampin' Up! Mini catalog until I think next week, Monday or Tuesday. Demonstrators get to see it in PDF form, but I have a feeling that the vast majority of the Halloween that is going to be available from Stampin' Up! This year is going to be what's available right now on the online exclusives. I'm not going to say that there won't be anything in the upcoming catalog, but I suspect it will be very little, maybe another bundle, maybe just a stamp set, but I think most of it, definitely the full suite. I don't think we're going to have another one of those in the catalog. So if you want new Halloween, go grab from the online exclusives right now. So to find the online exclusives, you're going to go out to stampinup.com, then click on the menu button, and then go to online exclusives, and that is where you'll find all the products that I'm using today. So, all right. So again, Spooky Halloween is where I got the sentiment from. And then these are the Everyday Arches dies. These are bundled together with another stamp set in the online exclusives. I didn't use any of that stamp set because there's nothing Halloween in it. It's just another kind of fun stamp set. I used the largest and the second largest little arch dies to create this card. So, hey, Marilyn, thanks for hopping in. And Julie, if I didn't say hello, hello. All right. So that's it for the card. A couple things before we get going. Stampin' Up! Just announced kind of late yesterday afternoon that they are doing free shipping, and it will be on orders of $75 or greater between July 23rd and 25th. So that starts tomorrow, which is Wednesday, or depending on when you're watching this, it may be today. Wednesday the 23rd of July through the 25th of July, which is Friday, free shipping on all orders of $75 plus, which is an awesome screaming deal because it'll save you a minimum of $7.95 on the order, but 11% if you go above like the 70 something dollars. So at $75, you're already saving basically 11% on the order, and it's a great deal. So definitely get your orders ready for free shipping from Stampin' Up! From the 23rd to the 25th of July. Then again, as I already mentioned, online exclusives, don't forget to go peek at those while you're doing your orders. So again, log in, go to stampinup.com, hit the menu button in the upper left, and then hit the online exclusives little round button. There's like 10 pages or something of online exclusives out there, tons and tons of things. This is just a very small sampling of it. And as you can see, I used a bunch of the other things here that are available as well, and they're not on that little flyer. So, okay, enough yakking, let's get going on this. So ahead of time, I did do a little bit of die cutting just to save us a few minutes, but I did not actually cut these panels back here because I wanted to show you how I did that. So ahead of time, this is cut with the largest die from the Everyday Arches dies, and I cut a panel, well, actually 3 panels of basic black cardstock, 1 time each, with this awesome little die. So it puts a little kind of stitched look edge around it. I don't know how well that shows up in the video, especially in black. It's kind of hard to see it. But again, just cut those 3 times. And then I've got a piece of the Spooky Sweet Designer Series paper. And this is cut to about 8 inches by about 5 inches. Now again, it doesn't have to be precisely that size, but basically you're going to want to be able to get 2 of the second largest die cuts from this piece of paper. So second largest I'm just struggling. Second largest Everyday Arches die cut. So basically you want to make sure that the paper that you're using is going to fit 2 of these die cuts on it. They don't necessarily have to be side by side, but to me that was just easier when I was putting it together. So this is another piece of the Can I just start over? For the Spooky Sweet Halloween Designer Series paper. This is a little piece that's about 3/4 of an inch by about 8 inches long. And I'm just going to take that and we're going to stick it right here on the bottom of this panel, so that my intention was to make this look like ground or sidewalk or something like that along the edge of the building. So I know, and I'm really struggling today, Tanya. I don't know for sure why I can't get the right words to come out, but probably because I just yak too much. All right, so we're just going to grab a little Stampin' Seal and I'm just going to run it across the bottom of this panel. And then we're just going to take this little layer and we're going to adhere it together. So again, just wanted to show you really quickly how I did this. And again, it doesn't, you can see that I didn't even cut it exactly precisely the same, and it doesn't really matter. So it's all good as long as you can get your 2 die cuts out of it. So I'm going to grab my second largest die from the Everyday Arches dies, and I'm going to take this one and we're just going to lay it on here, and I'm going to basically line up the bottom of this with the kind of the bottom edge of my Designer Series paper, so that when I slide it over to cut the second one, I know where to line it up so that the ground kind of is, it's not going to be perfectly straight across, but it's as perfect as you can get it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go run this through the die cutting machine once, and I'll be right back with this die cut. Okay, so there's our first die cut, and I'm going to pop that one out. And then I'm just going to do the same thing here with the second one, just line it up right down here near the bottom. And then, again, it doesn't really matter what you have in the background. You can take your pick on what you like showing best. Most of this one's going to be covered up because there's a tree covering it, but I'm going to go and die cut this, so hang on. All right. So there we go. And technically you can probably cut it to like 7 3/8, maybe 7 1/2, but I didn't want to cut it too small and then have to worry about accidentally something didn't line up right or whatever. I wanted to give myself a little wiggle room, so that's why I cut it a little bit larger than what it needed to be, so I can discard that. And then we'll go and stick these pieces on the already die cut arches here that I've got from Basic Black. So we're just going to take a little bit of Stampin' Seal and adhere these together. Zoop in here around the top. And I'm hoping that I don't run out of Stampin' Seal. I probably should have put a refill on there before I started, but that's okay. We got liquid glue just in case, although I don't like it. All right, just lining that up. Again, just kind of centering it as it is. And then I'm going to grab the second one, and same thing. We're just going to put a little Stampin' Seal right around the edges and around the arch here on the top. And then we'll grab another one of the die cut basic black pieces. And again, just roughly center it here. All right, then we'll go ahead and do the third one too while I'm at it. So the third one, actually, if you look inside here, is basic white. And I've done a little stamping on here and a little bit of layering, but I did carry that kind of sidewalk looking piece across it. So this piece is cut to about 4 inches wide by about 3/4 of an inch tall. So again, just going to do the same thing here. We're going to just adhere it to a basic white cardstock panel. And this one, I don't know, it's probably 5 1/4 by 4 is what I would guess, or somewhere right in that range. Kind of my standard inside of the card piece. And I didn't even get it on there perfectly, and it doesn't matter at all because we're going to be die cutting this piece as well. So I'm going to grab that same die, the second largest one, and I'm going to do the same thing where I line it up here down near the bottom of the designer series paper, so that again it'll be semi-similar, semi-straight, if that makes sense, kind of carries across here. That was the look I was going for. It's supposed to look like a sidewalk. I don't know if I accomplished it, but that's what I was trying. Right. So there we go. We got our final die cut done here. And I'm going to stamp on this one while I've got it here and ready to go. I've got the Happy Halloween Sentiment from the Spooky Halloween stamp set, and I've got Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And we are just going to stamp this little Happy Halloween Sentiment right up here, kind of towards the top and roughly centered. There we go. And as you probably noticed, my Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad is actually, in fact, one of the Craft White ink pads. Those come uninked with an ink refill. And one of my team members actually made this for me, and he basically just didn't ink it with the Craft White ink and inked it with the Tuxedo Black Memento ink instead. And I love the way this thing works. It stamps so nicely. So if you are considering doing that, I'd say definitely give it a whirl. I think the Tuxedo Black refill is supposed to be back in stock this week, maybe? I think that's what I saw, or it may already be restocked, but I know it's supposed to be coming soon. So we're going to take this final one, and we're going to go ahead and stick it to the last one of the little die cuts, basic black die cuts here. Then we're going to grab a sentiment. We'll go ahead and stamp that while I've got everything kind of out here and ready to go. And the sentiment is from the Fright Night stamp set. And again, we're just going to stamp it in Tuxedo Black Memento ink. It's just the little trick or treat sentiment is the one that I've used. And hopefully we get a good, yep, looks like we got a relatively good image there. And then I'm going to go to my Fright Night dies. So I'll grab those. And there's the little banner die here, and it fits perfectly around these sentiments, which I love that. I love the little kind of, I don't know if you can see it on here very well, but the little finished edges here where it looks like the banner is layered up. So I love that look on the banners. So I'm going to go die cut this, and then I think we'll be done die cutting. All right. Maybe. Whoop. Come on. All right. Got the little banner here. Get my dies out of the way, kind of try to get a little of my mess cleaned up here. So then again, I'm just going to grab one of the two of these. They're both basically the same thing, so it doesn't really matter which one I start with. But we're going to start assembling the card front. And the awesome thing about that pack of designer series paper, again, it's called Spooky Sweet, is it's got these cool, already printed up, kind of pre-die cut for you pieces in it. There are two of these sheets in the pack, and so you basically get double of what you see here. Now there were some bears in there, but I've used those already. There was another hippo, another bird, some more of the cauldron stuff, another tree. So I've used a few of the pieces out of here, but I'm just basically going to pop out a couple more to decorate up my card. So I've got the little cauldron. We're going to need a tree. And I love that these are all done already and just don't require any work other than getting them out of the sheet. Then I've got my little dancing bird here, and I think we'll take this one and the little hippo, so we'll grab this one. And I think that's all. Oh, wait, nope. I need my little pumpkin, birds on the pumpkin here. I think that's all we need out of there. I'm not going to set it too far away, so in case I've forgotten to pop anything out, we can always do that. All right. Hey, Julie, thanks for hopping in. I did forget. Where are my dimensionals? Yay, hold on. All right. I forgot those. I thought I was all prepared, but clearly I was not. So I'm going to take my hippo first, and we're going to stick the hippo on with some little Stampin' dimensionals. I've got my dimensionals, whoop, I cut in half so that I like the way they fit a little bit better than the full-size ones. But if you like the full size, you can use the full size. Get the little backings off here. Halloween's used to be your favorite to make. Don't have any young grandkids? Aw. Well, that's a bummer. I don't know. Make them and, you know, send them to anybody. Anybody would like to get a Halloween card. I would. They're fun. So, all right. So we got our little hippo here. We're going to put it on here and just make sure that his or her little feet are on the ground. And then I'm going to grab my sentiment, and we're going to take that couple of Stampin' dimensionals and put it on the back of the sentiment. The only thing I want to be careful of when I'm putting my banner on is just to make sure that I don't put dimensionals way out here on the very ends because it hangs over the arched area just a little bit. I did it that way so that you could see the kitty in the window, because if I put it over the top, then you wouldn't see the cat. So I kind of intentionally put it on here a little crookedy and hanging over the edge so you could see the little kitty. All right. The second one, I used the little tree die cut, and there are some little pieces in here that you'll want to pop out if you're going to use the tree die cuts. So, youngest grandson is 17. Aw, that is fun. And I'm sure that he would still like to get a Halloween card. So, all right, got my little tree here, and I'm missing one of my, where's my bird? Oh, no. Oh, there he is. I'm like, I know I popped a little bird out. So, hey, Kathy, thanks for joining. We're going to use a little Stampin' seal to adhere this tree on. And it doesn't take much because it's a fairly lightweight die cut, so you don't have to put tons and tons of adhesive on it. And I think we'll go ahead and put the tree on here. Again, the only thing you want to be careful of is just make sure it's not overhanging so it doesn't get caught in the hinge when you're putting this card together. But otherwise, you can line it up however you like it to be. And then I'm going to put the goofy little bird with his treat basket. Again, Stampin' seal, putting that on here, and he's dancing along here next to the tree. And then on the final one, I've got the little cauldron. And my original card, I think I had the cauldron over here and the bird and the pumpkin over here, but since the bird is looking a different direction, I'm going to put the cauldron on this side for this card. A little Stampin' seal on here. Sticking that right over on this side, and then we've got the goo inside the cauldron. And we'll just put a little Stampin' seal on that as well. And kind of fill it in here. And there's no like perfect way to put it on here. Stick it on however it looks good. That looks good to me. So then we've got our little pumpkin and bird, and we're just going to take that little Stampin' seal and stick that one just like that. And so most of the card is done. I told you this one was really quick and easy. So these are little pieces of basic black cardstock. And like I said, there are different ways that you can assemble these. The first one I did, I took a whole piece of cardstock and then measured it all out and tried to figure out exactly where the hinge parts should be and sticking it all on here straight. This time around, I decided I would do it a little faster and easier. These are about 1.5 inches wide by 3 inches tall, and I just scored them right in the middle at 3/4 of an inch. So I've got 2 of these, and we're just going to adhere them on as the little hinges here in between the cardstock panels. And I'm just going to use Stampin' seal, or you can use liquid glue or tear and tape adhesive, or you know, the Stampin' Seal Plus, whatever it is that you want for adhesive on this one. It doesn't really matter at all. Stampin' Seal, I find, holds things very well for me, so I am never worried about using it, even on this type of a card. So I'm going to take my first panel and stick that there, and then I'm going to line up my second panel here. Probably should put it on a straight line here so that I can hopefully get it lined up fairly straight. And again, there's just a little gap in between them. And I don't know how well it shows up on here, but I can see it when I'm putting it together. That's where my score line is. So I want to make sure that I can see my score line between the two. And then same thing for this one. We're just going to put a little Stampin' seal on it. And stick this one in here. And again, just lining up my score line close to my die cut here. And then line these up here on the straight line and hope that I get the final one put on here fairly straight. Again, just lining it up so that the little score line is peeking out in between. And hopefully I'll get it on here straight. There we go, that looks a little bit better. All right, so we've got them stuck together. And then I'm just going to take it and fold it on that score line, kind of folding it back for the first one, and then folding it over for the second one. And there you've got your little trifold card. So easy, so fun, so quick to put together. So I'm going to do a little bit of creasing here just with the bone folder, trying to smoosh it down here a little bit to make sure that I get good solid creases on my, my folds here. And then the final piece is somewhere here. I've got, oh, here they are, some of the little foam stars. And you can take your pick on which color you want to use. And I used the black ones because, I don't know, I thought they were cute and kind of sparkly. These are the Shimmer Star foam stickers, and they are part of the same suite with the Designer Series paper and the Spooky Halloween stamp set bundle. But again, you can buy them separately. It doesn't have to be the full suite if you don't want it. But I think you're going to want these little foam stickers because they're really cute. And so I've got one of the larger ones, one of the medium ones, and then one of the little ones here. We're going to stick those all on the card front together. And that's it. So done. So super quick and easy. Love that all these die cuts are done for you. If you want to do more stamping and coloring on it, you can certainly replace some of these pre-done die cuts with these images. So these actually have dies that coordinate with them. So you can stamp and color and die cut if you want to do that. If you want to make a whole bunch of these and don't have enough of the pre-cut pieces, you can certainly grab just the Spooky Halloween stamp set bundle and stamp and color away and have a whole bunch of cute little trifold cards. So that's it. All there is to it. There's only like 2 things stamped on it, and the rest of it's all pre-done for me, which I love. So, all right. That's it. Thanks, everybody, for being here today. I appreciate you all joining me, and glad that you liked the card. Like I said, I did one of these earlier, and it actually was a sympathy card, so you can kind of, it doesn't have to be something cutesy like this. You can definitely use this no matter what the Designer Series paper is that you're using, but I just happened to want to make a Halloween one, so that's why I did it. So, all right. Details will be on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com, and all the cardstock cuts and measurements, all the products that I used, all that stuff will be out there, as well as a printable PDF tutorial. It'll go live around 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, and you'll be able to, I'll put a link in the description of this video so you'll be able to head right over there. Don't forget about the free shipping from Stampin' Up! On orders of $75 or greater from July 23rd to the 25th. And I think that's it. So have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll plan to be live around 2 o'clock Eastern time on Friday, and then again around 2 o'clock Eastern time next week, Tuesday. So we'll see you all then.